Instead, it's rated R for mature adults.
Probably looks weird. Me being on camera, I'll probably come off like a pedophile. That voice works for animation or audio, but maybe not so much on camera. No.
Was it hard for you to go back to the voice after all this time, or does it just come naturally?
It's fine. I mean, have you listened to any of those? Have you seen any of those Beavis and Buttheads?
Yeah.
I mean, he's got that voice. He's got that voice down pat. I'm all right. It's not too hard. The Carl voice is pretty hard on me. I do Meatwad first. It's hard to do Meatwad after you've been like screaming your head off in a studio for an hour and a half.
How did you come up with what the voices of Carl and Meatwad would sound like when you first were creating the show?
Matt and I would read the scripts, just read them and punch them up, and I just did his voice. And Matt would laugh, and the executives at the network were like, you need to change that voice because no one understands it.
That was the first thing that drew me to the show.
Well, I think the fact that you maybe can't hear it maybe makes you want to watch it twice to see if you can understand it. Do you close caption the show?
I do audio descriptive.
Wait, what now?
It's audio descriptive for the site parent.
Oh, okay. Oh, I understand. Oh, I'm sorry. But in my age, I'm closed captioning stuff. Because now I'm like, I can't really fully, I gotta, but with Meatwad, he's kind of so mush mouth and gibberish,
That's what drew me to the character. That's how made me become a fan of Aqua Teen Hunger Force in the first place. It's a character that sounded like me.
That's awesome. And Carl was just my dad's from Long Island, from Baldwin, even though I grew up in Atlanta. So I'm just sort of doing a coarser version of my uncle's voice, so, and attitude.
So, how do you feel you can be a new fan and go straight in without any history of the original series?
I really think you can. I think you absolutely can. I feel like the show, you may not, it doesn't lay it all out for you, but there's Easter eggs here and there, but for the most part, it holds up as just a story, It's more of a story than our first movie. Our first movie was just a crazy amalgamation of jokes and moments, and this is an actual story. I was saying it's an emotional path, or as emotional as we're ever going to get. But it's funny, and it's satire, and it's a story of what the characters have done since since the show is over, and how they've separated. And are they going to get back together and help solve this larger problem? That's every story in the world, I don't think it's cliched, but I do think we're kind of like maybe a tiny bit more mainstream as a story. And then there's this interactive element, which is not going to be on tonight. Unfortunately, I really wanted to see that with an audience. But that's something, without saying too much more about it, is something that we have never, I've not seen in a movie at all.
Ooh. That's awesome.
Yes, it is, and it'll be activated for the November 8th when the disc comes out in VOD. But it's a very cool thing. It's something you see everywhere, but you've not seen it with movies and TV or anything, and it's very unique and specific to this, and it's awesome. It's this whole other layer. But that's all I can say.
Why did you and Matt feel like now was the time to bring back these characters, other than getting the call from?
I don't think when the show ended, we were we were probably exhausted with it, and it was probably a good time to stop. But it wasn't our choice, but it was probably right. but being away from it for 6 or 7 years, like I think it'll probably be like the coolest thing I've ever been a part of, in a way, and we had sort of this magical voice cast and Matt and I have a chemistry when we're writing and stuff, and when they asked us to come back to it, it was really fun, It's like we snapped right back just like it was yesterday, It was great. And when I never thought twice about it until they called us, but then it was like, yeah, you want to get the band back together? Absolutely, it's great. It's like that Rick and Morty episode. It's like, you son of a bitch.
And obviously you got the call because the show is still popular
Yeah.
on streaming.
Yeah, it does well.
So how does it feel for you to know that you created something that stood the test of time, that, it aged well, it still makes sense in this day?
Felt great. I mean, yeah, it's very redeeming. You feel like it's so hard to have a show be successful with people or not to make mistakes. There's more fingers in the pie. Like all of a sudden you're casting someone that's maybe not your first choice, or you're or you're having to make the story more relatable and i.e. make it more boring, and there's just, I felt like there was a magic to this where it was just the two of us coming up with this, and it was like our hobby, and then we lucked into these jokers, and that are crazily talented, funny voice actors, unique. No one else was using them. No one else even knew who they were, and it was. So I think there was a combination of luck too, I mean, Dana was somebody that I had a girlfriend at the time who was like, you gotta meet this guy. He's so funny. And he was an actor, but he was working at a drama bookshop in town. He was not doing anything. Now he's like all over the place. Staying in a nice hotel room thanks to the SpongeBob people.